let's look at some problems. So this is from the Quadratic. This is category 4. And then this one is category 5. So these are 2 problems I want to look at because they deal with regression in the calculator. So we'll look at 21 category 4 first. So you need your calculator. And whenever you read this problem, there are a couple things that stand out. One is that a company collected data. Anytime something or someone collects data, we can use regression. I spelled that wrong. Regression in the calculator. And then it also tells us down here the data can be modeled by a quadratic function. So we are going to use regression in the calculator, quadratic regression. We did regression with linear regression with y'all's, I think we had to find the R value. We talked about correlation. So we are seeing this again, but in this case, it's quadratic regression because it's quadratic. So what you're going to do is go to Stat, go to Edit, and then you're going to put in the data. So I have data in here I have to clear out. So I go up and clear it, push enter. So go ahead and put in for L1, number of months, and for L2, number of text messages in billions. And then for L2, so number of months and then number of text messages. And then just double check that you did all your numbers correctly because it's easy to mis-enter a number. Okay, I got mine in. Okay, so once you have that in, we're going to go to Stat and go to Calculate. We're going to go down to number 5 for quad regression. Remember we did 4 for linear regression? Anytime it's a linear function, linear relationship, so quadratic regression, I can't even talk. Calculate. Okay, so then it gives us information. It first gives us the form. This is standard form, so we're going to write that down first. And then we plug in the numbers. So A is 0.07. B is negative 0.1. If I round, that'd be 5. I'm going to go to 2 decimal places. X. And then C is 2.73. So now look at your answer choices. What do y'all see? Which one is almost the exact same? B. The only thing that's missing is that 2 because I rounded. But look over here. It should be 2. So that's our answer. So now let's look back at category 5. You've already turned this in. So we'll just look at it, and it tells us the exponential function. So we know we're dealing with the exponential function. Model below represents the number of square kilometers of land occupied by cane toads X years after the animal was first introduced. Based on the data, so they've given us data, which measurement is closest to the number of square kilometers of land that will be occupied by the cane toad 40 years after this animal was first introduced into Australia? So we have data, we have a chart, a table, and it's an exponential function. So go to your calculator, and I want you to clear out what's in L1 and L2, and then put the data for this one into your calculator. I would need everybody to do that. Okay, y'all ready? Did you get your data in? Okay, I'll wait just a few more seconds. All right. Now go to Stat, over to Calc, and we want to do exponential regression because this, they tell us, is an exponential function. Let's go down until you find exponential regression. So Stat, Calc, exponential regression. Enter, and then go down to Calculate. And then it gives us the equation. So they give us the general form, a times b raised to the x. So that would be 36,492.2 times 1.08 raised to the x value. And they want us to predict for 40 years. So how could we use this equation to predict for 40 years?
Replace the x with 40.
Yep. So plug in the 40. So we do 36,492.2 times 1.08 raised to the 40th. 92775.58. So then we're able to see 40 years, it's closest to 800,000. So there may be one question on exponential regression, one question on quadratic regression, and one on linear regression. So if you know how to do these, it's 3 questions you can just get right, you know. So just remember, you go to Stat, you go to Edit, and then you put them in L1 and L2. And then Stat, Calculate, and then you decide what regression we're doing. Linear regression's 4, 5 is quadratic regression, and then 0 is exponential regression. All right.